All right. Well, happy Friday. I hope you had a good week. I know I sure did. And I'm about to be recording a video with a brother in about an hour and a half about UFOs. So I'm looking forward to that. If you know me at all, you know that's true. I want to talk about this tweet. This is a tweet by Benjamin Watson, an ex-football player. And he has a reputation for being, for social justice, but in a reasonable way. And I have no doubt that he's earned this reputation. But this particular tweet I find extremely unreasonable, and I'll explain why in a minute. But here's what the tweet says. Apparently last night there was a football game, and the players locked arms in unity, around the Black Lives Matter stuff and all that kind of stuff. And so here's what Benjamin Watson's tweet says. Quote, "Don't kneel, don't lock arms, don't love each other, don't empathize with your brother, don't care about your country, don't speak up for the vulnerable. Don't seek justice or righteousness. Just play. Sad." Now, I find that to be a tweet that we need absolutely much less of exactly this kind of tweet. I hate this kind of tweet. This tweet does tons of damage to the country, and I would wish that people would stop tweeting like this. Yeah, you might find that weird because it seems like wisdom, right? It seems like a very kind of passive sort of, not a really controversial tweet, but I find it extremely controversial. And I'll explain why. So here's something you might not know about me. I used to be really into football. I was a big Jets fan, and I'll never forget this one time. So if you're a Jets fan, you know that there was a controversy at quarterback. We had Chad Pennington. He was kind of at the end of his career. And we had just drafted a quarterback in the draft named Kellen Clemens. And I think he might have been a second-round pick, and people were thinking he might be good. He was out of Oregon. Anyway, so I used to go to many, many football games. One of my friends had season tickets, and we would always go. So around this time, the media was spinning a yarn that the Jets fans were like the worst fans in the league. There were some situations that were legitimately bad, no question about it. But that was the narrative that was being pushed. It's like Jets fans are just scumbags. Everything they do is scummy, this and that. And so anyway, so Chad Pennington was playing like garbage. And like I said, he was at the end of his career. He was kind of hurt and all that kind of stuff. And everyone was calling for Kellen Clemens, the backup quarterback, to be put into the position of starting quarterback, and it wasn't happening. And then one game, Chad Pennington got hurt, like he often did, and so Kellen Clemens charges onto the field after Chad gets hurt. And people are cheering. I mean, I was cheering. I was at the game and we were cheering because Kellen Clemens, we've been waiting for this guy to come onto the scene and to get a shot at playing on the NFL level. We've been waiting for this, and he came onto the field and everyone started cheering. And I was cheering. I was there. I know why I was cheering. I was cheering for Kellen Clemens. Anyway, so we lost the game. Kellen Clemens stunk. Typical. And the media the next day, or even that day, spun the story like this, that the Jets fans are so scummy, they're so awful, that they were cheering that Chad Pennington got hurt. And I knew that wasn't true. And then the next week, I was at ESPN Zone in Times Square, and I was interviewed by ESPN. Your boy AD was interviewed by ESPN. So if you go looking for it, they actually missed how to spell my name. They put it as Noblez instead of Robles. And they asked me about this, and I said, no, I was cheering for Kellen Clemens. I wasn't cheering that Chad Pennington got hurt. I had a fat head of Chad Pennington in my room at the time. Like, I love Chad Pennington. And I feel like a lot of people were cheering for Kellen Clemens. But the narrative was going forward that this is why they were cheering. They were cheering Chad Pennington's injury. What a bunch of jerks. And I don't think that was accurate. I know it wasn't accurate for me. I bet you there was a lot of other people like that. Were some people cheering because Chad Pennington got hurt? Maybe. There are some sickos in every crowd, obviously. But you see, once the narrative is established, there's no stopping it. And it doesn't matter if the narrative is accidental or if it's intentional. Once it's out there, it's no stopping it. And Benjamin Watson, unfortunately, has done that here. Because here's the reality. I didn't watch this game. I don't watch football anymore. The quality of the football has gone down, and the political messaging I find distasteful. I don't watch football to be bombarded with political messaging, and so I don't watch it anymore. It's not worth it to me. The quality has gone down, and I just simply don't care. But if I was at this game, I don't know if I would have booed this display, but I would have been disgusted with it. Because here's the reality. Benjamin Watson has spun a narrative here, and he has no idea what he's freaking talking about. None. Just like the ESPN reporter that accosted me at ESPN Zone. I was a little bit tipsy, by the way. He probably saw a good, easy mark, but I'm reasonable. I wasn't sloppy drunk or anything like that. I was like, nah, man, I was cheering Kellen Clemens. I love Kellen Clemens. You know what I mean? Even though I didn't have any idea how good Kellen Clemens was. It's the same thing. Like he's spinning a yarn that he has no idea what he's talking about. We need less of this, especially among Christians when you don't know what you're talking about. Because here's the thing. I probably wouldn't boot. I'm a little bit too mature for that kind of thing at this point. Although, I don't know. At a football game, sometimes things happen. But anyway, I probably wouldn't have booed that display, but I wouldn't have seen loving each other. No, I would have been disgusted. I wouldn't have been disgusted because people were loving each other. I wouldn't have been disgusted because people were empathizing with each other. I wouldn't have been disgusted because I don't care for my country, because I don't care about the vulnerable, because I don't seek justice or righteousness. No, I would have been disgusted, and maybe I would have booed, because what I saw on the field was conformity. Conformity over a lie, not even conformity over the truth, just abject, like we are just going to conform with the spirit of the world, and it's all based on a lie. These people that were shot and killed, there's more to these stories. This isn't what Black Lives Matter says it is. It's not open season on black people. And so I'm not going to conform to this. There's no way I'm going to conform to this messaging. I do not consent to the messaging that the police officers in this country are the worst police officers in the world and so racist and white supremacist and all that. I do not conform to the message that America is a white supremacist country that has all these problems, blah, 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 blah. I do not conform to that kind of stuff, especially when I'm in a venue that I've paid good money for, because presumably the people that are there are season ticket holders, probably the most expensive season ticket holders, right? They didn't pay to be bombarded with false political messaging, with propaganda. They didn't pay for propaganda, they paid for a football game. And so when you see people conforming to propaganda that is false, it's like that picture, my friends. It's like that picture with the Nazis, and they're all doing the Heil Hitler except the one guy. It's like he didn't conform, and everyone likes to pretend like they're that one guy as they're conforming. So it's not Benjamin. Like we need less of this kind of political messaging that you actually have no idea if it's true or not. You have no idea if it's true or not, because if I was at the game, it's kind of like with the Chad Pennington thing. If I was at the game, I would have been cheering or booing or whatever, but not because of any of these beautiful sounding things. And honestly, Benjamin Watson, like, if you honestly think that people were booing for these against these beautiful sounding things, I mean, I think you really need to get your head examined. You've earned a reputation for being reasonable, and I'm just going to chalk this up as maybe you just misfired on this one. But to point to your ideological opponents in this way, where it's like, yeah, they're booing because they don't like justice, they don't like righteousness, they don't like empathy, they don't care for the United States of America. Like, that's so stupid and so silly. You know what I mean? It's so silly. I would have been there disgusted at the conformity around a lie, and I think probably, if I had to guess, most of the people that were booing there were probably booing the same thing. They're sick of the political messaging. They're sick of the insistence to conform with a lie. So Benjamin, please, less of this kind of thing. Hope you found this video helpful. God bless. You know, something else just occurred to me about this is, if I were to kind of, answer a fool according to his folly, I could easily rewrite Benjamin Watson's tweet and basically make it seem ridiculous that all he wants the fans to do is just cheer. Don't have political opinions. Don't look at what I do off the field. Don't look at my personality off the field. Just cheer. I don't want you bringing up the arrest record of my teammates. I don't want you bringing up the drug record of my teammates. Just cheer. So sad. Like I'm not the most eloquent person in the room, but you could easily turn this on him. So everyone's allowed to have a political opinion in the stadium except the fans, the ones that actually pay your salary. They're not allowed to have a political message. So even if it was a booing for all the reasons that they're booing, look, they're paying for that opportunity to boo you. You might not like it, but that's the way it is. So it's like, you get all high and mighty and you get your holy robes around you to speak wisdom into the situation, but the thing is it good for you too? Is what's good for the goose good for the gander? Like, is it just shut up and cheer? Is that what it is? I think we can act like adults here, and so that's the reality is it's not good for either one. Like, everyone's entitled to their own actions and opinions and stuff like that, and so are you. But what you're not entitled to do is to just lie about people that you have no idea what they're actually doing and pretend like you do, all in the service of the narrative that basically everybody and their mother is pushing. It's the spirit of the age. It's not justice and righteousness. It's what everybody's pushing, the pagans and everybody else as well.